Here we have a Porsche Diagnostic dongle that came in for repair. Very similar to the Audi dongles that we are used to fixing. I just finished working on 2 Audi dongles right here. And now we have a similar one, but for Porsche or Porsche, whatever you want to call it. We already disassembled the board, and the board looks similar. Not much different. The software is probably what's different, but let's take a look and see. The Audi dongles are notorious for having a connector issue. Let's take a look at this one, the Porsche one. And first impression, it doesn't look like we have any issues with the pads or with the port. Solid. This one is solid, 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 and solid. I do not see any issues with the port at all. And if we look inside the port, I think for the most part, the port looks okay to me. Why don't we plug in power? Let me plug in the cable. And then we can measure the pins to see if we are getting 5 volts. Meter in voltage mode. And let's see. What do we have? I'm reading 0. And I'm reading 0. 0. What? 0 and 0. We have zeros everywhere. What? Okay, so one of the 2 issues. Either we have a short circuit somewhere on the board, or we have a problem with the charging connector. One of the 2. Why don't we desolder the connector, and we'll take it from there. I can desolder the connector, and then I can plug the charging cable inside the connector, and we can measure at the pins and see if we have 5 volts. If yes, then most likely the problem is the board and not the connector. Right now we need to eliminate, to do a process of elimination. We cannot just start troubleshooting the board if we're not sure if the port is good or not. Meter in diode mode. Oh well. Okay, this one does not look like it's ground. We need to pick another ground on the board. We can go for this cap here. Let's measure between here and here. That's ground. Zero 0.5, 0.5, and 0.48. So it does not look like we have a short circuit on the board. What about this connector? Let me plug a charging cable inside the connector. Plug a charging cable right here. And now we should read 5 volts. Okay, so meter in voltage mode. And do we have a reading of 5 volt? We do not. 0. 0. 0. 0. And 0.001. What do you think? That's a connector issue. It's 100% a connector issue. We got it. Where do we get a similar connector? No need to fear. I is here. We have them in stock. Since we started fixing the Audi dongles, we have those connectors in stock. Right here. We can start by securing the legs, or we can do the front pins. It doesn't matter, as long as we solder something so we can secure that connector. We did one side, and let's do this one right here. Very nice. The sides are taken care of, and now we have to do the front. We're going to use our NF mini pen, and we're going to apply Flux on the front here. And unlike the Audi dongle, we actually have room to solder. On the Audi dongle, we have a big component in the front here, and it's kind of difficult to stick the soldering iron in between the component and the pins. But that's one difference I immediately noticed. Very nice. We're going to apply Flux one more time. And we're good. Just look at the soldering. Amazing. We did an amazing job. We can touch up on the sides, but we do not need to. Let's go over them one more time. And make them better than factory. And just tell me this is not better than factory. Wow. Looks awesome. Solid, solid, and solid. Are we going to see any lights on the board when the cable is plugged in? And I see nothing. We do have lights on the board, but I see nothing. Let's measure from the connector to right here. And now we have 2.44 volts, 0.5 volts, 0.5, 0.9, and we have 2.6. The charging cable is plugged in and we do not see any lights. But the good news is we are getting 2.4 volt reading on one of the pins, 2.6 volts, 0.9 volts. So at least we are getting some type of reading on the pins. We were not getting that before. Before they were all reading zeros. Let me inspect the board under a thermal camera quick and see if there is any signs of life on that board when the cable is plugged in. Whoa, 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 whoa. We have something major on the board. What's that heat spot? The chip. This chip is getting super hot, and that's abnormal. Right there. This chip is getting super hot. So the chip is the Realtek 8152B. What is that chip? I have no idea. And looking on Google for the RTL 8152B, it's an Ethernet controller. So it looks like the controller has some type of issue which is causing the board not to work. We see a lot of heat on this chip, and that's abnormal. Let me unplug the cable. Maybe we can quickly measure capacitors in this area. Right now we are not reading short anywhere on the connector lines, but why don't we check the capacitors nearby for a short? We have OL, or we have 1.3 voltage drop. That's not a short. No short. No short. Look, if I touch the probes, we should get a beep if we have a short. We do not have a short circuit on any one of the caps. Right now it has to be the chip. There's a 99% chance that the problem is the RTL chip. Nothing. We do not have a short anywhere in this area. And I think we're gonna put it on the side until we order that chip. But at least we replaced the faulty port. I'm gonna order the chip and we will finish this off in part 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video.